Yeah, I think.
Well, what's up, Ray's Handy? Our new character, Handy Ray's. Well, yeah. Why don't you come up and grab a mic and what's that?
It's someone's birthday.
Happy birthday!
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at our
Yes.
worcome
Do you think I could have some water? Maybe.
Come on up, birthday.
Thank you so much. 3 people again.
I'm suddenly a fan of my podcast because I just like that idea. And he's like, it's like this, and then another person goes, just bring him up, and then a woman goes, it's my birthday. I like all of that for all reasons.
I didn't mean to start anything. I just had a follow-up question because I'm interested in the topic.
I don't think we're.
What day's your birthday again?
11/11. It was yesterday.
Happy birthday!
Thanks.
What's your name though?
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Hi,
Carolyn.
Hi guys. Sorry.
Asa.
Hi, Caroline.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. Yeah.
What's your name?
Nova? Asa, nice to meet you.
Asa.
Hi. Dan, right?
Thank you very much.
Like a water?
Oh yeah. Thank you.
A birthday water.
I would love one. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I could use a Coke. I could use a Coke. Can of Coke.
Egg salad sandwich?
Turkey, mayo, lettuce, tomato, lightly
A
toasted.
joke.
Okay, Asa, what was your follow-up?
My follow-up question was, how do you then, you answered my former question of, do you think that you want to be depressed? But my follow-up was like, how then do you distinguish between your maladaptive behavior versus behavior that is healthy but then is punished? You know, like you're talking about being
Right.
honest and being upfront with people in big platforms like this, which seems healthy, but then you've learned to like recoil from that. So how do you distinctify between maladaptive behaviors versus like good
My
ones?
theory as of the last couple of weeks that made me so relieved because it makes me comfortable again is that the answer is whether or not it's true. Because that was for so long my definition of it's like true. I rubbed a mannequin leg on my nipple. I have a nylon fetish. I put a thing in my butt. You know, people. It's like there's no such thing as truth that should hurt you. There's technically one, you know, if you were, for instance, a pedophile, like we have this like go-to crime where we go because, or you know, aside from just regular rape, like of a non-consensual person. It's like there's absolutely. It's like the word pedophile is the only thing worse than anything sexually, in addition to being worse than a Nazi, and or so we feel emotionally. And so, like, if you weren't that, then theoretically anything that you were. Anything that you could say out loud in this country, it should not be anything that would automatically cause destruction to your life.
Well,
it could cause embarrassment, but it shouldn't cause you actual loss of property.
Well, that's really
Theoretically.
interesting because sometimes I'll get into a space where I'm feeling bad about myself, and then I'll ask my therapist, like, do you think it's okay if I start playing this video game because I like it and stuff? Like, I just feel really guilty about doing things that I enjoy. One time I was just like, can I just, like, you know, facing adulthood, you're like, wow, you can really do anything mostly. I was like, can I just do anything I want? And she said, yes, well, you can, because I know that you're not going to do anything that's going to
Right, maybe
like
if you
destroy
were,
your life or someone
else's.
else's.
Well, if she knew you were a heroin addict, but I you know, and you needed therefore to. But my therapist always said right away, just like if it's free and fun, do it.
Yeah, if you're not hurting anybody or
Right.
yourself, is what mine says. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that is the answer to Ace's question, which is like because I have the luxury. But my heart goes out to people who aren't in these shoes. Hence the episode where I went to bat for pedophiles. It was like 100 episodes ago where I had seen that Pervert Park documentary, and I was like, God damn it, that must suck because I can't control my sexuality. So what if you couldn't, and your sexuality was literally illegal and literally involved hurting people? Shouldn't we spare a thought for treatment and whatnot to break the cycle? And I have the luxury of, like, as bad as it gets is as what you see, which is like I just fascinated with myself, and like I like toes on my nipple, and I like girls in pantyhose, and I like everything that I've talked about for 300 episodes of this podcast, which means I have that privilege of if I just dump everything from my brain out of my mouth, then along the way, the worst I can do is use the wrong pronoun, say the N-word, these sort of like kind of like verbal gaffes that could be
Social contracts.
But you'd have to desire to destroy me to then take those mistakes and go, therefore we should destroy this person. You know, and that I think is the reality that we have to cope with, which is if somebody wants to hurt you, there's no way to beat them in the game of I'm hurtable. And it's not a victory to be unhurtable. It's not a victory to have a shield around you and turrets that keep people from coming near your front lawn. That is not a way to die laughing at everybody and saying, I had the perfect life. You will die with a vague feeling probably of deep unease and sadness. Because when my therapist said that, she was like, she would be the last person that I would think after everything that she's heard to recommend that I continue to do this podcast. She I would never have thought. I would think that she would have been like, yeah, that seems like an unhealthy fixation you have on yourself, and maybe now that you're growing, you should retire the microphone and go live in like a normal person. It's time. But like, she was like, you need to be honest. And the more honest you are, the stronger you feel and are, and the more you're actually like, the more helpful you are. And so that's I've answered your question 90 times. That's the path. It's like maladaptive, healthy, unhealthy. Who knows? I've been up here and being defensive about it. Like I was up here for more episodes than not saying like I hate therapy. I don't believe in therapy. I've been up here saying don't vote. Your vote doesn't matter. Then I've been up here saying like we should run out to the street and kill Nazis. Who cares, quote unquote, like whether the behaviors and thoughts are healthy, unhealthy, or leading down the yellow brick road or a dirt path that makes Dorothy a cyborg. However, which arguably sounds like a cooler story than like one where it turns out you could go home at any time and the bad guy can be killed with water. What's important is for me, maybe not for other people, but for me, it's vital that I gotta be saying what I'm thinking, or I'll put a gun in my mouth. Like I will, and that's
And
why
you
I'm
do have a gun.
Oh, right.
That's why I'm so, I've traditionally been
Please don't kill
so
yourself.
adamant about, every time we mention suicide on the show, and you notice I always like have this like, kids don't talk to somebody, et cetera. Because it's like before I started this kind of seemingly self-destructive practice of speaking into a microphone about everything that's going on with me, a behavior that has gotten me fired more than it's gotten me hired, a behavior that at times seems like you just wish it would stop, because if he would just stop doing it, then everything would be fine. Just shut up, Dan. But for me, maybe not for other people, like it's like these thoughts, like in your skull, they bounce off every interior surface, and every time they do, they accrue thoughts about them, and they just get so big so fast, and then as soon as they come out of your mouth, it doesn't matter if people applaud. It doesn't matter if people boo. It doesn't matter if they ignore it. The important thing that happens is it came out, and now it's gone. I've found that over and over again. Just like boom. It's just I said. I stuck a Sharpie pen up my ass once because I wanted to see if it would make me come harder. And for the rest of my life, that Sharpie pen has no power over me. It doesn't matter if the audience went, yay, let's go buy stock in Sharpie. It doesn't matter if they
No one
said,
can
you're
hold
so
that against you.
brave. It doesn't matter. It's like what matters is that I didn't die.
Kind of like I mean, so I had sex with my third grade teacher to get an A, and I too was homeschooled. So yeah, it was really
Damn.
Is that a genuine story from your life?
Yeah,
Kind
her
of.
mom.
Kind of.
No, it was, yeah. No, I'm joking.
Oh.
Well, what you're talking about?
Well, it's your birthday. You're allowed to run through the fields of.
Incest.
I just want to say something. I just want
you're
to say something memorable.
What you're talking about is exactly what like I've been working on in therapy, which is why I was so curious, is because like something that my therapist told me recently that was like actually one of those big revelation moments was that like you're not always trying to fix yourself. Sometimes you're just trying to like learn to be okay, you know?
Right.
And that like I'm all in therapy, at least I'm always trying to be like, so I feel this way about this. And I think like sort of like you were talking about earlier, Nova, I feel this way about this. And I think it's because of this. And I think if I thought about it this way, then
Right.
everything would be fine. But sometimes it's like, no. It's okay to just think something that's maybe not great, you know?
You don't have to accept things. You don't have to like things to accept them.
Yeah.
And there's a thing I've read in some of these books by this, like, what's his name? I can't remember, fucking Seligman or something like that. He was like this guy. It's like there's a sort of this happiness thing. It's a nuanced this idea of we get if you're worried about going to Thanksgiving because you hate. You're uncomfortable talking to your uncle. I know this is gonna be an awful metaphor that doesn't land the point, but here I go. But I'm like you're on your way to this. You're invited to a party that makes you nervous for some reason. Let's say you're uncomfortable. We think that the day that you realize you don't want to go to the party because your uncle's racist, or that even though that thought doesn't make you happy, we don't think that you're following your comfort. Because what's comfortable about the thought that your uncle's racist, right? Or that you're a fuck up that'll just get lost on the way to the party, or we say negative shit to ourselves that actually causes a dopamine spike because it gives us a little fire escape out of a zone of discomfort. So
Pretending that we understand something for the sake of not thinking about it.
Exactly. Yeah. No one likes to be uncertain, and yet, it's like actually, uncertainty is a huge invitation to a really, beneficial Burning Man, where like weird ideas can happen while you have no idea what the fuck you think. But it feels like pain to us. It actually feels criminal to us, and then you go, you know what? Fuck that guy. I'm not going to his party. And even though it creates this negative thing in your life that you're happy, you like made yourself happy. I thought I saw a hand or something out there, but it's probably just people going, Jesus Christ, how long is this show?
Yeah.
It's probably just four people looking at their watches in unison.
That's fair.
I'm having a great time.
Oh.
This is a dream come true.
Well, we should be fair. Asa was out front handing out his flyers for Asanomics. It's a new religion that
Everybody gets $5 and that's
his
it.
name's not
He's
even
selling
Asa.
copies of the
It stands for
Asanomicon.
assertiveness, spirit, and more assertiveness.
Action.
Or angle, side angle, any
Anyways,
of those
what were you
acronyms.
gonna say?
Hand
Nova?
raising
Sorry.
for fun and profit.
I was just going to say what you're saying about honesty and everything. I think, like I said, when I was a kid, I could never not be myself. And I think now I felt pressure to maybe kind of change or to police certain thoughts. And I think maybe that's kind of making me really sick inside, like lately. And I've always been just a really fully authentic person, regardless of what happens. What happens will happen. And otherwise you'll just make yourself sick.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to sound cornball, like I'm like Geraldo and I'm like capitalizing on it. I don't want to get points for it, so I want to stress, like, I can't protect you from anybody. I can't protect myself from myself or anybody else, but I can guarantee you this, and maybe what's important is that we all guarantee this to each other any chance we get, is that you can't say anything to me that's going to make me suddenly start to realize you're a bad person. Except lies. Like if I find out that you said one thing and then I find out you're capable of dishonesty, because that makes you dangerous. Because but I can forgive you if you then later tell me I lied to you about this and that, and but if you tell me the truth, I am never gonna punish you for it. I'm never gonna like, unless it's an accident, unless you go like, can I tell you something? I put peanut butter on my pussy the other day, and I might accidentally go, "Whoa, that's fucking nuts!" And you like burst into tears and go, "The word nuts is what they said to me when I'm like," that shit could happen. I could step on your foot while we're dancing, but I'm never gonna go, well, you shouldn't be danced with. You don't belong on this dance floor. You should, so if nowhere else other than your therapist's office, please consider this an actual definition, not a political definition of a safe place. It's not, nowhere's safe, but you're safe from us up here for sure. Cross the threshold, blurt semi-fictional shit that you haven't even explored yet. If you want to, you run the risk of people in the Reddit going, but no, not us. We will hold you on our shoulders because what can we accomplish with this podcast if not corrupting a new generation?
Celebrating honesty.
And I guess that invitation goes for you too, Asa, but I don't know if I trust you yet.
That's what can I do to earn your trust?
Well, I have a suspender thing because I'm like, what's wrong with a belt? But then it's just like,
suspenders are more convenient.
Okay,
more comfortable.
all right,
They
Asa,
just make you feel
I'm an
like a
advocate.
jerk.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, I'm not. I'm kidding. It's probably a bad joke because my whole point is we have to trust each other. I trust you, Caroline.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Unless it turns out to not really be your birthday, I trust you.
Oh, it's my birthday. I'm my pastor.
Yesterday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
It was yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
So it's not
11.
really a birthday.
It's not, but I wanted to get on
Man,
stage.
this trust thing is getting off to a shit start.
Well, she told us it was
know-
yesterday. She wasn't like, no, yeah, it's my birthday. Like,